Hi there, Joey Fulgione here, also on the web at clevercatholic.com. The cleansing of the temple. The destruction of the Jerusalem temple was in 70 AD, around the time the earliest gospel, Mark, was published. Some might erroneously think that Jesus' prediction of the temple's destruction, there will not be one stone left upon another that will not be thrown down, Mark 13:2b, was added after the event. However, there are some stones remaining upon each other to this day at the western wall. Mark did not make up the close but slightly inaccurate quote. Another mistaken belief is that the cleansing of the temple didn't happen, but is only a parable in action. Biblical scholar, college textbook author, and self-described atheist agnostic, because of suffering and evil, Dr. Bart Ehrman said, "It is virtually certain that some days before his death, Jesus entered the temple, overturned some of the tables that were set up inside, and generally caused a disturbance. The account is multiply attested in Mark 11 and John 2, and is consistent with the predictions scattered throughout the tradition about the coming destruction of the temple." In the Synoptic Gospels, the cleansing of the temple, Mark 11:15-19, is toward the end of Jesus' public ministry, immediately after his entry into Jerusalem. John, though, puts the cleansing at the beginning of his ministry, John 2:13. The order of events in the gospel narratives is often determined by theological motives rather than by chronological data. That's John New American Bible Commentary. The later entry is probably more chronologically accurate after Jesus' triumphant entrance into Jerusalem, when he was literally riding high on a donkey. Though the chief priests and scribes were seeking a way to put him to death, they feared him because the whole crowd was astonished by his teaching, Mark 11:18. Jesus' exalted entry, with the crowds crying out, "Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord," prevented his enemies from taking action when Jesus cleansed the temple. Jesus made a whip out of cords, which is one of two things Jesus makes in the Gospels. The other is clay to heal a blind man in John 9:6. He then drove out those who sold oxen, sheep, and doves, as well as the money changers seated there, overturned their tables, and spilled their coins, John 2:14-15. Jesus' righteous anger is because the exclusive sellers are price gouging pilgrims' purchases and currency exchanges. "My house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples, but you have made it a den of thieves." Furthermore, the animals for sacrifice and the means to purchase them will no longer be needed anyway, because Jesus is the ultimate sacrifice. This episode indicates the post-resurrectional replacement of the temple by the person of Jesus. That's John New American Bible Commentary. Jesus' opponents couldn't understand that the temple will no longer be the place to worship God. "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." He was speaking about the temple of his body, John 2:19. God dwells in the person of Jesus. He is the new temple. And amazingly, by virtue of our baptism, we are temples of God as well. "Do you not know that you are a temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you?" 1 Corinthians 3:16.